Yeah. And you will find us there. We are going to talk about how to make money online. You know, money is my middle name, and we are making money the right way. We are making money with the right mindset. We are making money with God on our side. We can do this, and that is why we are here. We have been chosen. We are the chosen generation, and therefore we are here this evening to make an impact. If you are listening to me, those listening to me from the United States, Africa, India, my India loyal listeners, God bless you. You are here and you are listening to me. If you can share the program and invite someone to participate and then be a blessing to someone. As I have said, my name is Patrick. This is PatMac Radio UK, and you are listening to the live train. This is the live train. The show that will talk about factors that will help you in your life, factors that will move your life forward. If you check, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, PatMac Radio UK, and you would go back to our shows that we have done so far. And then you will understand why we do what we do. We have done so many shows from business, going to health, mental health. We have done a lot of shows. Go there, subscribe to our channel. We are a growing family, a growing family. You can visit our website, www.patmacradiouk.co.uk, and become a part of our family. We have a fun page there that you can join, and then it comes with so many goodies. If you are listening to me and you want to host your own show, you can contact me, and we will come up with a deal for you to host your own show. If you are living in Bedford and then you Bedford or its environs, and you are looking for a job, maybe you are interested in looking after people, you can contact Lakeside Accomplish. You can contact Lakeside Accomplish. They are a mental health care unit, and then they have very competitive pay rates. You would not regret it joining them. You can call them or contact them. Visit their website, www.accomplish.group. I'll repeat it again, www.accomplish-group.co.uk. You go to their vacancy section, you look for what you are looking for. And ladies and gentlemen, you're going to find something good. So, as I have been saying, we are here this evening to talk about money, how to make money. You see, most of the time, 2 years ago, I was talking to some people and I told them that there is coming a time in the UK when so many people are going to be allowed to come into the UK. When I was saying it, they were arguing. And today you can see it for a fact that someone was talking to me today from Ghana, and then the person was telling me that it is easier now to travel and live in the United Kingdom than it was 2 years ago. Why? Because the system has made it in such a way that they will tighten the system. So if you are doing your regular job, you realize that after paying your bills, everything is gone. Everything is gone. This is the time you need to link up with people who can teach you or who can show you a way to a new trend of life where you can make money from a side hustle. As the term goes, the 21st century term goes, you can make money from a side hustle, and then from that you can support yourself and your family, because we live in times where sometimes you may not be able to meet up. And when it happens that way, ladies and gentlemen, trust me, life will not be as easy as you think. My name is Patrick, and this is PatMac Radio UK. You are on Live Train. Ladies and gentlemen, on the show today, I have Mrs. Beatrice Yakubu. And you see, when you go on our Facebook Live, you're going to see a very beautiful woman sitting here with me. As a matter of fact, she's so beautiful, she's making me feel underdressed, you know. Yeah. So go on our Facebook, like the page, follow us, and then you get all notifications as we get them. Ladies and gentlemen, how to make money online. Hello, Mrs. Yakubu.
Hello, Mr. Patrick. Nice to be here with you.
Oh, I think your voice. Hello.
Should I get?
Yeah, you are on. You are on.
Oh,
it was me.
I was gonna get a speaker on if.
Oh yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Thank you. We can hear you loud and clear. Ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Beatrice Yakubu is a social media entrepreneur. You see, I will not be the one to introduce her to you. I would make her introduce herself. Mrs. Yakubu, good evening. Welcome to PatMac Radio UK.
Yes, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be here, and thank you everyone who is watching, whether within the link or on Facebook or on air. Thank you so much for your time. And indeed, we are here to talk about money, how to make money.
Yes, I love money. Well, not more than God, but you know, I like talking about money.
Well, money makes the world go around, so there's no any other way around it.
Of course. Money makes the world go round. And that is why we are here to talk about money. And so, ladies and gentlemen, if you are listening to me, you can share your contributions with me. If you have any questions, you can send it to me on 0741 302 5596. If you have any contributions, you can send it. I would read it out loud, and then we will take it from there. Thank you very much, Mrs. Yakubu, for making time for us.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time.
Mrs. Yakubu, who is Mrs. Beatrice Yakubu?
So, as you rightly said, I am an entrepreneur, and I am a mom, a wife, a lover of God, and a lover of money.
Yes.
Of course, because I came all the way from Ghana to the UK purposely to make money. I did not come here to see the Queen. I came to make money. So yeah.
We didn't come to look at the Thames. We didn't come to look at Canary Wharf. No. We came to make money.
Not for the cold, not for the ancient buildings, not for the hard work. No.
You see, ladies and gentlemen, the most regretful part of life is you going through life. It's hardship and you are not able to make it to where you want to get to. And as I have always said, the only thing that can nourish your body apart from food is, or let me say, our words, information. That is why the Bible says that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word. The words that you hear, ladies and gentlemen, can make or unmake you. That is what you need. So it is important to get the right information. It is important to link yourself to the right people, and then your life will never be the same. Mr. Tino, you are listening to us from Stevenage. May God bless you so much. And Mr. Cephas, you are working a night shift, and then you are listening to us at the moment. May God richly bless you. So I will go on to our conversation. Miss Beatrice, are you there?
Yes, I'm just gonna put in a speaker so that the viewers can hear me. Sorry.
Oh, okay. But we could hear you. Okay.
Oh, okay. Then I can't.
Yeah, it's okay. However you want to do it.
It doesn't work with radio. All right. So.
Okay. So, yeah, it's cool. So, what do you do as an entrepreneur?
Yeah. So, in terms of what I do, I help business owners to become visible online on social media predominantly. So, if you are a business owner, we know that even before the pandemic, we know that people are not as, life has changed in terms of how we interact, how we go out, how we do business, how we buy things. So how would you get people to talk about what you do? So even before the pandemic, that was the case. But now with the pandemic, we have, many people aren't still out yet. So a lot of people are doing business online. And for that reason, business owners know that in order for them to be able to attract people or to communicate or to even tell people what they do, they need to find them online. How else would you find them online? Over 4.2 billion people are on social media. And so that means if you are into business, and business is for what? It's for serving people. And if wherever people are, that is where business owners will be.
Yeah.
And that makes social media relevant for every business owner. The yet is that business owners don't have time to do both. They don't have time to go and talk to people and talk to them. At the same time, service the people in terms of those who will buy from them. That's why I come in and I help the business owners communicate with their potential clients or customers for that matter. And then while bringing the customers to the business owner, and then the business owner then pay me to do that, and then they get the opportunity to fulfill for the customers.
Wow. So if I got you right, then like PatMac Radio, for instance, you can put us in a limelight where we would meet so many people. Is that right?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah,
ladies and gentlemen,
that's it in a nutshell. I get you to become visible so that people see you, people know you, and people the point is that people buy from people that they know, they like, and trust. If they don't,
of course,
how are they going to like you? If they don't know you, how are they going to even trust you? So by knowing you, when you are communicating with them, that's how they get to know you. When you are sending them content which has value for them, that is how they get to like you. And of course, they will trust you because obviously as they are communicating with you on the daily basis, as your content is coming into their news feed on a daily basis, they know who you are. And when there's the need for them to buy whatever it is that you are selling, there are so many people out there, but of course, because they have had a relationship with you, they would buy from you.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, business owners who are listening to me at the moment, you are listening to something very beneficial. There are some things that you may not be able to do as a business owner. There are some things that you may not be able to do if you are starting a business. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your platform. She puts businesses in the limelight. She makes businesses visible. So, Miss Beatrice, why this place? How did you come to this level of thinking that you think you can do this for people? What happened?
Okay, thank you so much for that question. In terms of how I came to do this, it wasn't something that I wanted to do to start with. But if you look at the concept of, in terms of what made me want to do it and how did I know that it works, is number one, statistically, over 80% of business owners in America alone are on Facebook, just Facebook alone, over 80%.
Oh, wow.
So that means that, and that was, this statistics was before even pandemic. So perhaps 90% or more than that. That gives you an indication that businesses are online. And the reason why businesses are online is because they want to meet the people who would buy from them. And how would they meet them? You can't just meet somebody without talking to them. So there has to be a conversation. And where business owners are, that is where money is. If you look at, I always tell people, how did Mark Zuckerberg become a billionaire? Seriously. He used a system that we need to use. Number one, he creates a platform and he says, okay, everyone come and play for free. Then you guess what, when you are logging into Facebook, what do? They need your phone number, your phone. They need your email. They need your full name. Those are data. That data, they are using it to get business owners to now target you to buy their stuff. So they pay. So business owners will pay Mark Zuckerberg or Facebook for that matter, or whatever social media platform for that matter, on, to be able to sell to you. So that was one concept. And how did I get to know about this concept? So if I'm a nurse coming from Ghana, if you are a nurse, or if you were ever lived in Ghana in the 1995 up to the year 2000, where they used to call rapture. So
when the stone was coming. The stone that never arrived.
Those days that nurses used to finish shift from Kolebu, and the next day they are not on shift because they are flown abroad to United Kingdom. That was the time that I came, because it was easy for nurses to come to this country. And like I said, I did not come to see the Queen. I came because money here to be made, and everybody said, if you finish as a nurse and you come to the United Kingdom, you will make loads of money. I believed that, and I came, and there was no money, like you just said in your introduction, because you finish all the bills and there's nothing left. So I was working for some years. I realized that, I think I need a different pathway. Money thing is not happening. So, of course, I was looking for avenue to start a business, and a friend said, you can do, you can do agency nursing. So now, again, when the Conservative government took power, they froze nurses' salary for, I think, up to 10 years. We didn't get any pay rise. Can you imagine? You are working without any pay rise for 10 years.
Wow.
I know. In addition, they were the ones who increased the university fees for our children. I was, as a nurse from Ghana, I was already, at 21, I was already making money. I came to England to make more. And then as time was going, I realized that not only did I not have the money, my children are going to start life with so much debt.
Yeah.
Like, it just filled me with so much guilt that if I started work 21 and up to, mid-age possibly, there is nothing. And my children are going to start with that kind of debt. What is the opportunity for them? It just felt like doom and gloom. So when I started agency nurse, and that was great, because then I was making so much money, to be honest, between 27 to 30 pounds an hour for a nurse, whereas in NHS it's about 16 pounds. Government found out that, there was some things going on, because we had to do limited liability company. So
that was the IR35. Exactly.
We were not paying so much tax. So they closed that loophole. And for me, that was the turning point. I said, really, I am not going to be forced to go back into nursing. I will find a way. And that was how I started to look for business opportunity. And then I found this social media.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, it all comes with a mindset. You see, whenever you find yourself in a problem, what you do with the problem determines the outcome of the problem. You can decide to sit down. You can decide to sit down and cry over the problem. And at the end of the day, the problem will be there. You can decide to make a change. You can decide to effect a change. And that is when ideas will start coming in. That is when you would come out winning. Let me put it that way. When the challenge comes, just like she said, you need to come up with something. So that brings me to my next question. When you then decided that, okay, I would come up with this, what were the challenges that came, that you had to overcome in order to get to where you are today?
Okay. So thank you for that. In terms of challenges, like you've mentioned, there is nothing that you can do that would not be challenging. So everything that you do in this world is challenging. So when I made up my mind that I wasn't going to go back into NHS, like taking nearly half pay cuts to go back into pictures and to be doing this, I call it merry-go-round type of lifestyle.
Wow, I like that.
Yeah, I mean, you're just kind of spinning and you're not going anywhere. And knowing that at the end of the day, my children are going to start their lives with 50,000. If you, I mean, your viewers can type on Google, our young people finish university with £50,000 debt. Like,
Yeah.
how would I come from Ghana to get my children to start life in that respect when I don't even that perspective? When I don't even have anything to help them. And for me, it was like a stab in my heart, because looking back at my colleagues that I left in Ghana, their children are going to international schools. They are paying for private schools for their children. And here I am in
the developed world.
And my children are going to finish school with that kind of debt. Then projecting it forward, I'm thinking, okay, so if they finish, fair enough, they are going to get jobs somehow. Yeah. But the consequence will be that they will not have time for me. They will not have time for themselves. And like, it's a circle. One, because that poverty thing that I thought I was going to leave in Ghana is following me here. There has to be a way. So obviously there were challenges. So what then happened was that I resigned my job and I was sitting at home. I just resigned.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I resigned.
You took the bold step.
Yeah. I resigned from agency. I said, I'm not doing this because what they did was that they said, go and what company, what did they say? Umbrella company.
Yeah, umbrella company.
Umbrella company a month, and I saw my wages and it was just pitiful. I said no.
You missed home, like you missed mommy. Oh God.
And then just around that time, I was just watching TV and I saw this lady. If any of your viewers have know about this program, Channel 4 Secret Millionaire program, it's a program where a wealthy person will go and disguise themselves in a community with the aim of helping them. And guess who I saw? A fellow Black woman as a millionaire on that TV show. And I went to investigate. This lady came from Zambia. Here I came to the UK. She didn't come with any money. She made it in the UK. That was the day I sat up on my seat. I was like, I did not know that people can actually make money in England. So her name is Caroline Marsh. Please Google her, go and to her website.
Of course.
Caroline Marsh.
Please say the name again. Say the name again.
Caroline Marsh. Caroline is the word Caroline, or the name Caroline, and then the Marsh is MARSH.com. You know, she's a Christian lady as well. And then so that was the motivation actually that got me to go to business events to see, okay, what possibilities are there, opportunities? And one thing that stood out for me was you could do social media and bring your children. That's the guy who was on the stage. That was what he said. And I said, that's it, bingo. You know, I'm doing this. It doesn't matter if I die doing it. I'm not doing it.
Wow. So far, how has the journey been like? So you doing trading online, like doing business online, how has it been like?
Like you said, it hasn't been easy. So I got my children involved, but the good thing is that they were already, you know, young people today. They know about social media. So it is
their age, isn't it?
So for my children, it didn't take them time to be able to build their social media platforms. My eldest was 16 by then. She started a beauty account, Beauty with Blessing. And I think within a year or so, she was able to cross over 10,000 followers. The youngest started, she was also 13, and she was doing foodie account. Her account didn't grow quickly, but because she loved cooking, she was sharing about her food recipes. and she got to 1,000 followers. And she started collaborating with people, with restaurants owners, with foodies in London, going out and eating for free so that she could get content and post on for them. So when they started growing faster before myself, but I had to invest money to learn social media and everything. And we gradually built. It wasn't easy, but I just knew that this was the way for us, and then turning back.
So if someone wants to be like you, like maybe someone is listening to us on radio, watching us on Facebook, or later would watch us on YouTube, and the person wants to be like you, what are some of the things the person should look out for, or what are some of the things the person should do in order to get to your level or even better?
Okay. Yes. Thank you for that. In terms of being like me, number one, social media is free. So how to learn to do social media? I mean, that's it. It's free. You don't have to pay to do it. It's free for everybody. But however you use it, it depends on what you want out of it. So like I said, my girls, they built their account. They didn't go and learn anything. I invested because I wanted hand-holding. I wanted someone to help me to be able to get to that point that, at my level to understand. But if you want to do it for free as well, there are YouTube videos that you can use to learn how to do Facebook marketing, to learn how to do Instagram marketing or LinkedIn marketing. You can just choose one and learn how to do it. And the next thing is that once you know what you're doing, you can just start talking to people. I do social media. Can I try for you? And for instance, if someone comes and tries for you and you see that you are getting followers as a result, guess what? In a month's time, you will pay them to continue because you wouldn't want your followers to stop. So that's for the person. There are two options. They can pay, what I really want to emphasize is the fact that you don't have to pay to learn how to do social media marketing. You can pay if you want hand-holding, but you don't have to. It's just the time and commitment.
So as a social media entrepreneur, like, do you have a clientele that you target, or it's just the whole everybody that is online?
Okay, so in the first instance, it's hard to say that I want to target this type of people. But of course, once you get your skills nailed in, you would then think about, okay, who do I want to work with? So for me, I work with coaches, I work with therapists. So if you're a coach and whether you're a business coach or any type of coaching skills or coaching work that you do, I know that coaches absolutely do not like to do social media because it's time, it's their time as well. So I work with coaches, and then and I had to sit and think about that and just focus on that. Vanessa, for instance, used to work with the restaurants. My second daughter, she used to work with restaurants and food companies. And then Blessing works with beauty, those that do things in terms of beauty. But of course, when you are starting, you can't be picky. You've got to at least give yourself that opportunity to learn the skills first. And then you can then choose, these are the type of people I work with, because that also helps you to attract the right type of people that you actually want to work with.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, you are on Live Train. This is PatMac Radio UK. And then if you are listening to us, we are talking about how to make money online. We have covered a lot. And then one thing that I'm getting out of it is that you need to make up your mind. You need to make the bold decision to step into this entrepreneurship level. Because you see, you cannot just do anything. You need to decide and then get into it. And then we have been talking, you need to get mentors that you can look up to, study, get the information right. If you need the information, as the time goes on, I will ask her to show us where we can find her if we need any help. But before we get there, we would have some conversations. If you are listening to me, you have anything to ask, you have any thing that you want to add to what we are saying, you can link up on 0741 302 5596. My name is Patrick, and this is Live Train. So, Mrs. Yahoo, with the emergence of COVID, this pandemic, now we have Omicron. It's coming with its own force. Now we are scared that we're going to stay indoors. How does it affect you, or how does it help you grow?
Thank you so much for that. So before even this, before the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
When you talk about investment grades, I did say that my children didn't invest on social media, but I invested for them to be coached by someone.
Okay.
Who happens to be on this call. So Doniana runs a child and parenting program that I invested in, so that specifically.
Hello, Donia. Don't mind me, please continue.
She's on YouTube.
Yeah, I know.
So that's and then what we then did was that it was she has this program where you as a family will sit and she will do family education plan for you and your children. The children have the opportunity to say the things that they want to do and stuff like that. So, and she has been the coach for my girls as for them to just gain their confidence. I think that was the main thing, gaining confidence and all that. So before pandemic, because their Instagram and accounts were growing, and then they were kind of almost like every weekend they are in London eating food for free that adults wouldn't get to eat.
Wow.
Yeah, their Auntie Donia invited them to share, like just 5 minutes share with women's group that she was talking to, share their journey, just to empower or help the women to think about supporting their children. So it started, and from there it went to, they got invited to churches to talk about their journey. And so we got programs lined up for my girls to speak to young people, to know that, they don't have to spend their time on social media aimlessly. Then and then like we were shutting and there was nothing happening. So what we then did was I told them to kind of share that information, record it, let's put it on as a course. And that is what that's what they spend their lockdown time doing, rather than, I always say, lockdown time was a stressful situation for adults, for young people, because, people were just bored. But girls were very, very, very busy because they had to record it, they had to do the editing themselves, they have to upload it onto softwares and do the creatives, everything, they did it by themselves. So, I mean, that was great. And they launched towards the end of last year. And that opened up opportunities for them. So they have been on Omega Live TV a couple of times. They have been on Rainbow Radio. They have been on several women's organizations speaking online as well. And even though they're still doing their thing, because they're still looking after clients. So it is, the good thing about this is, whether lockdown or no lockdown, you're still working. Like nothing can lock you down online. You can. So it is not a big deal when you work online. Whether you are out or not.
So it being not a big deal whether you are working online, you have your face and everything you do online. How does it affect your family life?
Okay, so in terms of faith, yes, I had to learn public speaking as well, so that I articulate how I speak and everything. So obviously, I am in public speaking. In terms of my girls, until late 2019, Nobody knew them online. Even though they had online accounts and they built their accounts, they weren't showing their face. Even up to now, their faces are not on their business Instagram account. So in terms of being the face of your business, you can choose to. You can choose to show your face. You can choose to just be anonymous in terms of not showing your image or your picture or even video. And I mean, all the videos that Vanessa did, for instance, she did the animated characters on the videos. So you don't necessarily have to be online in that respect. And because, especially, I'm talking to parents in this instance, because some parents are worried when they say, "Oh, I don't want my child to be online." They're already online, whether you want them or not. They're already there. What we are now saying is that get them to use it properly, and if the parent learn what to do, your child will be able, invariably, you will be able to teach that child how to be safe online, how to use their time online instead of wasting that time and watching cat videos. As I always say, they can use that to learn a useful skills that business owners will require, and they will become content creators. They will become providing service to business owners rather than just wasting their time every day. Yeah.
So what would you say was your break point? Like the point that you got that you were like, I've made it. Like, when did that happen?
There has never been a point that I say I've made it, whether you believe it or not, because I believe that every step of the way is a journey. So this is how we did it. When the girls were, as I said, they, got the hang of it quicker than I did. So, but what we then did was that anytime they got few people that followed them, so it could be, they've got 2 people that followed them today, they will run to mommy, I've got 2 people, I've got 5 people following me. Always embracing it, it wasn't a thing of, okay, we are waiting to get to this level before we can say, oh, we are there. I don't see it in that way. I see that it's a journey. And I also see that the fact that young people, like for instance, my daughters, are able to be able to position themselves in a way that business owners can't trust them with their business, I think it's a big deal. But then, of course, there's always an opportunity to learn day by day in terms of improving what we do.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, you are live on PatMac Radio UK. Those listening to us from the United States, God bless you. You are listening to PatMac Radio UK. Those listening from India, God bless you. My loyal listeners from India, I really appreciate you. May God bless you for staying here. We are talking about how to make money, how to put yourself in the limelight. If you have any questions, I've received some text messages already, but some of them are almost the same questions, so I'll put them together and then ask at once. But you can send your contributions and your questions to 0741302556, and then I would read it out loud to everybody to hear. So I would go back to my question. So how do you see the future of business online? Because you being a nurse, quitting your job from nursing, which means there's something good way, because I know nurses, you guys are hot cake in this country. So you leaving that life and then coming here, it means there's something good. How is the future like for you?
Thank you very much. I mean, when you say nursing is hot cake, I mean, that is a deception. That's you know what? Some years ago now, I was in Ghana with this lady. At that time, she was a healthcare worker, and then she said, "Oh, you nurses, you have a lot of money." And that time she was just about to go into nursing. I didn't say anything. Years down the lane, we were talking, and she says, "Why didn't you tell me there's no money in nursing?" I said, "Well,
Wow.
There's no money in nursing. I see the future really bright, and bright for me, that I'm feeling excited every day. But not only that, I see the future. I think the joy of it is that I see the future even brighter for my children. Because,
Okay.
like I mentioned before, I mean, I couldn't see them past a certain level, which is sad as a parent, when you think that your children are just going to be, very, very ordinary, and especially my life at that point, I felt would have been better than them, which is not right, because I grew up from rural Ghana. My mom didn't go to school. She was able to send me to school and to get me get to here. So my perception for my children should be that they should be able to take on the world, to do whatever it is that they want to do in this world without any restriction.
Yeah.
Financial restriction, for that matter. For them, leaders, to be able to speak confidently wherever they find themselves. But unfortunately, that wasn't, I couldn't see that happening. But now, by God's grace, I can see that. I can see that they can speak boldly, they can speak confidently, wherever they are, they are just full of joy. And for that, for me, I wake up every day feeling excited about the future, about the fact that, the children that God gave me, I have been able to supervise them, to be able to identify their God-given purpose in life, and to be able to live the life as God has ordained, and for them to also serve other human beings and to be rewarded for it. So I find the future really exciting and beautiful.
We have a question from the platform from Joy of Many Generations. It says, please, can you share with us, how can you get your children interested in what you do, even when they are not willing?
Okay, thank you so much for that question. In terms of getting the children involved, number one is that it has to be an exciting thing for them. Now, when I ask my children to open their Instagram accounts, or when I allowed them, at that point, my 16-year-old has started her own personal Instagram account. And at that, I didn't know anything about social media. I didn't want her on social media. And it was a tug of war. So when
oh my.
So when I got this information that they could actually make money, I said, what are you waiting for?
Go for it.
But they had to do it according to what they enjoy doing. So Blessing, my eldest, she opened a beauty account because at that point she was so obsessed about her skin, acne, and all those things. She was investigating on how to reduce her acne. So the information that she used to get, she would repost that on Instagram. So it wasn't a case of, okay, I'm starting a business and it has to be this way or that way. So it was something she enjoyed doing. Vanessa liked cooking. Initially, it was pictures that she just liked to put, food pictures on Instagram. And that was her passion as well. But of course, as they're doing it and getting followers, guess what? They are getting excited and they're exploring ways of monetizing it. So it's not a case of me saying that go and make money. Otherwise, if you say that to your child, they won't, because, that's it has to come from them. What do you enjoy doing? And we have even some children who love writing. So for instance, a child loves writing. In this day and age, it's not as if that they are just going to go on Instagram or any social media platform and start writing and making money. But documenting their journey is very important. Yes. When we were growing up, there was nothing to, there was no footprints of our growth. I don't have my baby photo, and I'm sure most people don't.
Mine is missing.
Sorry?
Mine is missing.
Yours is missing. You see,
Oh,
born in this era, it will be on Facebook. You just go and download.
it's true.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. That is them documenting their journey. Now, it was said that when our young people are going for the job, employers search them on social media to be able to decide whether to pick them or not. Here's the thing. Recently, my daughter got into a sixth form, a digital college. We did not know that they had to investigate them online before admitting those children into the college.
Really?
Yes. So if your child, I mean, for you to set your child apart, get them to document those journeys in a positive light. So that if the child is writing and is on a blog and Blogger is free, every week, every 2 weeks, let them put their blogs on Blogger. Whether someone is reading them or not is irrelevant, but they are documenting their journey. But the more they do, the better they get. Writing skills, for instance, is what entrepreneurs want, because they have to articulate their message to their audience in order for them to listen. So copywriting is a hot cake, but your child cannot start as a copywriter tomorrow, start writing today and tomorrow become a copywriter. It has to be a journey for them to do it as something that they actually enjoy doing, and they would get to the monetization part. You will even have to tell them, they will know how to do it. Again, also, like I mentioned earlier, having a plan for them, because sometimes, especially for us in the African diaspora, we don't know the school that the next school that our child will go to. We don't. We're just there. Until
we are just there.
We're just there.
When it happens, it happens.
Like it's just ridiculous. So if you have a plan for the child, the language is different, because the child already knows what they want. And for God's sake, we shouldn't just keep telling them, go and be a doctor, go and be a lawyer, go and be an accountant, because in as good as those are, jobs are coming that we don't even know yet. We don't know about certain jobs that are coming, online jobs. We don't know. So give our children the opportunity to use this digital space as an opportunity for them to document their journey. And any employer, anywhere they go, it's just a matter of them giving the link. Okay, here's my link. I have been doing this for a number of years. And guess what? Which entrepreneur will see someone who has been writing maybe for the past 10 years of their life? For instance, if your child is maybe in a teenage and they start now, by the time they finish university, they will become writers automatically. Even that alone, that content alone can even be a book. So in terms of how you get your child interested, number one, you have to know the skills. And I always say that to parents, it's not the case of asking them to go and do this while you're sitting there and watching TV. You have to get involved yourself. Number two, it has to be something that they enjoy, that it is them documenting their journey rather than it being a chore for them. If you make it a chore, it's not going to work. Number three, we need to have a proper relationship with our children, because again, how we were brought up in Ghana, like,
oh my God.
Work. It doesn't work. Like if you're saying, oh, children are meant to be seen and not heard, that it doesn't make sense, because they will soon be adults, and then now you want them to be heard. To be heard. How are they going to articulate it? So
and at that point, the spirit to be broken, you know.
Absolutely. Anyway, so that's if you want your child to get involved, number one, don't just make it all about money. Let them enjoy it. Encourage them massively. So if, like I'm saying, if they enjoy writing, if they enjoy painting, if they enjoy cooking, you have to encourage them. And also you, the parent, has to know at least some skills, because I feel that especially for us in the diaspora, we allow ourselves for our children to know more than us. And that's ridiculous. else, because some of these things we can learn and we just kind of give it to them. Oh, I don't know this. I don't know tech. I don't know how to do social media. I don't know how to do Instagram. I don't know. We never don't know anything. And yet we have time to do other things that, like being on a phone call over 2 hours and talking to somebody. We could have been using those times to learn.
Hey, Akwesi. So that land, what is happening? Ladies and gentlemen, we need to come out of our own shell, and we need to stop that slavery mindset that puts us behind all the time. Children should be here. Don't break their spirits. Let them participate, and then you may never know what will come out of it. Mrs. Yahubu, before we end the show, you see, I would ask you how people can get you. Do you have any training sessions for people? Do you have anything that people can subscribe to in order to help people change mindset when it comes to online marketing and putting yourself, you and your children there online?
Thank you so much for that. So, I have been working with entrepreneurs over the years. But of course, in the summer, everybody or most people are asking, okay, how do you get your children to work with you? How do you get your children to make money online? And when I say that I haven't given my children any money in 2 years, people like, how can you have children you don't give money?
How? Like how? Show me, because look, I want to get there.
No, I haven't given money. So when you were talking about pandemic, when pandemic happened and people were saying, oh, we're losing jobs, we're doing well, that was the time the girls were making their money, buying their own latest iPhones and all that. I cannot afford, I won't buy them latest iPhone. They bought their thing. They bought their own iPhones. They bought their, things that, their dad said, this is embarrassing. I said, no, it's not embarrassing.
Wow.
Yeah. So in terms of that, people were asking, okay, how can you help us to sort of work with our children? And then so I decided that when you look at training currently, people are either training young people or they're training adults. And if you can train adults, then what then happens is that they start the business and the kids aren't bothered. They are not or you train the children, and those who are very, very spicy and entrepreneurial will take the skills. Majority of them will just forget it because it involves commitment. It involves them actually paying attention. So that's why I decided that let's train both parents and children, because for me, accountability was one of the things or the reason why I stayed, because I'm looking at what my children were how my children were progressing. Even if it was tough, I wouldn't stop, because if I stop now, I have just crashed their future. I couldn't stop. And also, if there was any even inclination of me stopping, they will come and tell me. I remember at some point I digressed into doing financial education. My children would say, Mom, this wasn't the plan. Mom, this wasn't the plan. So I believe that by training the parents and their children, it works quite well. So we started a business called Simply Family Business. So the word simply is an acronym for the truth. So S, we help you to think, what type of business do you want to do? Who do you want to sell to? Who is already doing what you're doing that you can learn from? Then the I is we help you to identify the digital platform, because remember, you can't do business these days without a digital platform.
Okay.
If it's social media, which one? If it's website, why? So we get you to understand the concepts, because my second daughter, she does web design. So she progressed from the food into becoming into the self-taught web designer. So,
wow.
Yeah, so she designed it.
Wow.
So she knows about web design and things like that. The third one is M, which is mastery. So we want you to master the business process. In terms of business, what are your goals? What is your, why do you even want to do what you're doing? And if in the future, if you want to scale the business, what must you do? Then the P is position. We want you to position yourself in the marketplace so that, you know, there's no one like you. Everyone is different. People can be doing trainings or different trainings, but you have your own story and you have your uniqueness. We help you to see that. And so that you can position yourself right. L is leverage. You need to leverage the power of marketing, because without marketing, you can have the best product and no one will know about you. So how do you send the information out to people? How do you even get started in terms of to know what you're doing? Then the Y is yield. Whatever you're doing, it needs to yield profit. It better yield profit.
Yeah. we need to see growth, eh?
So we want you to yield profit. Also, we want you to help you to be able to find out if someone says yes to whatever it is you're selling, how then do you fulfill for them? How do you progress? So we call it the onboarding. And also with social media, for instance, how do you automate most of your social media so that your hands are free for you to do what you have to do to generate the money? So that's our Simply Family Business.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, Simply Family Business. You see, you cannot just sit down and think that one thing that I've always been saying, prayer is good. Prayer is extremely good. But prayer without action doesn't yield anything. You need to put in the work. Faith without works is dead. The work is needed. And then whenever you are working, it means you are becoming something that is in your imagination. Therefore, you need to work on something. Mrs. Yakubu, where can we find you? If we need you, if we want to follow you, if we need your help, where can we find you?
So my website is still under construction, beatriceyakubu.com. Again, this goes back to the point of, you
see, I'm not catching you. I'm not catching you yet. But whenever someone builds a website with his or her name, like beatriceyakubu.com, it means like it's on another level. God bless you.
Okay. So we have beatriceyakubu.com, vanessayakubu.com, and blessingyakubu.com.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And
that's another level.
Vanessa built all those websites. Yeah. So what I was trying to say is that you don't actually need a website to start. You don't need that. So you can find me or connect with me on Facebook. So Facebook, Beatrice Yakubu. I think, yeah, Beatrice Yakubu. I would pop up above all the Beatrice Yakubus because I'm the one making all the noise.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. I can see.
No, honestly, I'm on a mission. You know, as parents, we need to think differently. I just believe that we cannot just accept what life brings us. We cannot just sit. We cannot just accept, especially those of us in the UK, the fact that, oh, life is difficult. Oh, our children are unruly. Oh, the government is very bad. Like nothing will change if we don't change. Most people, or some of the people I know, are even on benefits, and yet we cannot use that time in our hand to learn a skill. Like it doesn't cost you anything. When it comes to our children receive child benefit. If you don't have money at all, accumulate your child's benefit money and invest. Like government has given us the opportunity.
Wow.
Yeah. You know, it doesn't have to come from your pocket. Your child's child benefit money, please stop eating it.
Gracious God, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, follow Beatrice Yakubu on Facebook. Sorry, are you on LinkedIn?
I am on LinkedIn. I am on Instagram. Yes. Not so much on our Twitter. No. So I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn.
What about YouTube?
Yes, YouTube, sorry. Yes, YouTube too. Yes, I do videos every week. Yes, I just need parents to understand that our children are worth more than whatever it is that we think we're doing to help them. Because the concept or the misconception that I see is that we think we know what the children want, but we're not actually asking them what they want. And you can't serve somebody if you don't know what they want. So we carry on working to come and buy them the latest shoes, or the latest label, whatever gadgets is available. But we don't have time to sit with them to teach them these skills that they can actually use to secure their own future. Because for me, it is a career for my children. If my daughters go to university right now, literally, they can work to pay for their own university fees by the time they finish school. And I'm not even exaggerating. So, what's there not to pursue? There is everything to gain if we expose our children, if we help them, walk the path. This internet is for them. They were born in it, they know it, but because they're children, one, they don't have the tenacity to do it, and even the discipline, because who wants work? Nobody. But us, the adults, know that if we guide them, this will be a pathway for them to branch into a career. And even if they now go to university, they are only going for the skills to hone in. So now Vanessa, for instance, Vanessa is in a digital media college. We had to physically search for it. Like there was no way that she could just go to any college or go to any sixth form. Before now, she would have gone to any sixth form. That's why I'm saying that our children just go to school because that's the next one available or the next one closer to us. You have to have a plan, and if you have the plan, then of course they are building towards the future, and you are all going to be happy because I believe that life is for living.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Yahu.
You're welcome.
It's a privilege talking to you. I've learned a lot. I've really learned a lot. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, the word repent comes in two forms. The RE means going back to the original, and the pent means higher thinking, which means going back to the original higher thinking. Parents, it is time we remix the way we think. We need to come or go back to the original thinking. We need to go back to the taking charge of what is important in our children's lives. We need to take charge and help them achieve. That is a purpose. When a child finds his or her purpose early, everything that follows falls in place. Like what she was just saying, her child knew exactly what she wanted to do in college, so they had to locate it without stress. If you are listening to me, you can follow Mrs. Beatrice Yakubu on all social media, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Look for her, follow her. Information is good. Subject yourself to acquiring information. That is when you apply those information, you become wise. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Life Train. You are on PatMac Radio UK. My name is Patrick. Next week, we're going to be with you. You can catch up with all our shows on Facebook and YouTube. You can follow us on LinkedIn. If you're on Vimeo, you can follow us. And now we are on Spotify. You can catch up with our podcast. Every show that we do, we podcast them on Spotify. You can catch up and then listen to our shows. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been PatMac Radio UK. My name is Patrick, and this is Life Train. We'll come back to you next week, same time, with a great show. Ladies and gentlemen, I am preparing something beautiful for you this Christmas. Follow us, and then your life will never be the same. This has been Life Train. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Amazing. Well done.